Good day, everyone. I'm Kayla Zafaropoulos of Capital Link, and I would like to welcome you to Capital Link's Expert Talk webinar series, a series that provides expert insight on a variety of topics relevant to the shipping market. We are joined today by Pankaj Sharma, Managing Director of OneLink, an expert in digital maritime solutions that enables their clients to optimize their navigational, operational, and commercial performance. Pankaj, welcome. Very glad to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's start with the first question. Can you provide an overview of the current trends in the maritime industry and tell us what are the key challenges ship owners face regarding sustainability and operational efficiency?
It's an interesting time to be in the maritime industry right now, especially when it comes to sustainability, efficiency, and health monitoring of our assets. The regulations are changing very rapidly. There's a lot of pressure from various governmental agencies like EU to have more efficient vessels, to have lesser emissions. And at the same time, the technology is also changing, and we are getting more and more avenues to connect our vessels better, like Starlink. And we are now able to apply the latest of available platforms onto our vessels. So overall, it's a very interesting time to be in this industry. And the major trends are technology, emissions, sustainability, and also looking at the efficiency for the long-term profitability of our vessels.
Could you walk us through some of your key solutions and what role they play in overall vessel performance and operational efficiency?
Yes, so OneLink is a very unique value proposition for the customers. What OneLink does is it brings various digital technologies under one umbrella and is able to satisfy majority of the customer needs. So our customers range from ship owners, ship managers, to charterers, to even asset managers. So what we did was we brought in various technology services and we integrated them in such a way that we are able to meet all the needs end to end. And then we added our own innovative applications on top of that so that we are ahead of the industry. To give an example, OneLink consists of various links. One of them is for fuel link, which is a fuel procurement application which finds the best fuels for you at the best price and maintains high quality of after sale services. Something similar we do on Lube Link. We have Route Link, which is for explanation, I can say it's like classical weather routing, but we have a very strong emission focus on it. We are supported by 4 centers all around the globe, and these 4 centers are all ISO certified. We have EngineLink, which is an award-winning software where we have recently been recognized for using the best of AI technologies. We have Oceanly with us, which is a great application data management system for capturing live data and high frequency data from the vessel and making performance indicators out of it. We also have Emission Link, which focuses on meeting the regulatory landscape of EU and non-EU areas. And of course, we then have IoTs and smart cameras, which are looking at enhancing the vessel operation as well as the vessel safety. So OneLink brings all these things together to be able to service our customers without any interruptions.
Thank you. One of the pressing matters in the maritime industry is decarbonization. Can you elaborate on how your solutions help ship owners address those issues? And how do your digital technologies specifically support sustainable shipping practices?
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, the regulatory landscape is changing. We had IMO DCS, then we had MRV introduced, which were mainly about reporting your emissions. And very recently, EU ETS was introduced, where emission trading scheme came into the picture. Next year, we will have Fuel EU. Then we also have other emission schemes coming in. Turkey has proposed one. Japan is creating their own. China will be proposing their own. And taking all this into account, we have to look at not only what technologies we use as hardware, like which fuels, which engines, and all this, but also how do we use them? How do we capture data from them? How do we make sense of those data? So to put all this together, we went back to the drawing board and we decided not to look at performance as in a classical performance way of speed and consumption and distances and weather. And we started focusing on machinery. And this is how we came up with Engine Link. Engine Link is all designed around capturing various machineries, whether it's original or it's retrofitted. And we are able to make sense of the data and then integrate the data into emission standards, emission measurement, and also create machinery health scorecards so that we are able to give like support in such a way that the company's sustainable efforts are bearing the results that they had planned for. So you can buy a technology or you can do a retrofit, but if you don't measure it, you don't manage it. If you don't manage it, you're not getting the results that you wanted.
Yes, thank you. With AI playing an increasingly important role in performance optimization, maritime safety, and productivity, how do your solutions integrate AI to improve these areas?
Yes. So AI is the most exciting technology that now we are dealing with. Um, about 7, 8 years ago, the best or the closest to AI that anybody was coming was using machine learning, which is a function of AI. From there, some applications and some service providers graduated to chatbots. Very recently, we've seen the advent of large language models like ChatGPT. And then we also have other AI applications like video analysis and image recognition. So in one link, depending on which link you are in, we are using all of them. We did machine learning projects to analyze the speed loss models of the vessel. So without doing the expensive towing tank experiments, we could get the same results. We've used chatbots to find relevant and information on phones so that the user gets his results at the click of a button. And right now we are working on two projects. One is an engine link where we are looking at image recognition. So all the inspections which are done inside the engines, like scavenge space and the images that you take of the liner, we have an image processing engine, which is then identifying issues with those images and then giving valuable feedback to the technical superintendent where it sees issues in terms of over lubrication, cracks, or scratches, things like this. On the large language models, we are on a project where we are ingesting a lot of machinery manuals, and then we are taking operational data and matching the manual to the operational data and then finding out key observations, which is then telling us the health of the machinery. This part of Engine Link we are extremely excited about because we've now started looking at engine not just for efficiency, but for its health, which is, I would say, a concept slightly new in shipping, but has been there in other industries for quite some time.
Great, thank you. So we touched upon this earlier, um, but let's talk about it a little bit further. With the introduction of stricter environmental regulations like the EU ETS, how do your solutions help ship owners remain compliant while maintaining high performance levels?
Yes. So it's quite clear. There's a Vision 2050. There's Fit for 55. There are local regulations coming up in EU, in US, and globally also we will see a lot of focus on emissions. There are different pathways to it. So the initial pathway, what most of the industry is looking at is green fuels, uh, biofuels, and that's the first step. Then the second step we see, because the targets will keep changing. as you go into 2030, you would need larger emission reductions, which would be not possible if you go as is. So either you pay penalties, like in case of fuel EU, which is all designed around paying penalties for emitting, and ETS is emitter to pay. So your first step is fuels. Your second step is retrofits. And then you go in for newer engines, newer technologies, and newer build ships. But to do all that, you also need data management. So to look at what's happening operationally on your vessel. So if you've, let's say, installed rotor sails or air lubrication system or a newly designed propeller, are you getting the result of it? So managing data, measuring data in real time, capturing sensor data from the machineries, where we use Oceanly, which captures not only bridge data, but also engine data, and we can capture any other retrofit data through them, and then making sense of it. So uh, data capturing and integrating data is the key towards supporting our customers for their journey into higher performance levels and meeting the stricter norms of emissions trading schemes.
Very interesting. Thank you. Okay, so in your opinion, what are the biggest opportunities for digital innovation in the maritime industry?
Okay. I can go on talking for hours if you want me to on this subject. Uh, it's great to see shipping now talking very actively about digitization and using digital innovation in day-to-day life of shipping. 10 years back, we had a lot of barriers to digitizing the vessel side of it. One of the main barriers was connectivity. So over a period of time, we've seen the connectivity become better and more affordable. Recently, with the advent of low Earth orbiting satellites and Starlink coming into the picture, we are seeing this side of things explode. So there's much better connectivity. Now you can apply better digital applications which are not designed for minimum data exchange, but rather for optimal data exchange. And also the crew are happier because they are getting access to the real world. Otherwise, back in the days when I used to sail, for months and months, we used to be disconnected from home. Uh, Writing letters was the only way. So connectivity is playing a key role in uh, us being able to innovate in shipping. So what's happening when it comes to innovating? So the boring side of innovation right now is the integration part of it. A lot of legacy systems were created individually. They were created in silos and they hardly talk to each other. The first wave of innovation which is coming in this side is integrating legacy systems and creating new marine data backbone, for a better word. This approach, this event-based approach, is going to revolutionize how we manage data in the future. Um, there is this one announcement that we recently came across, and we are now engaging with this company called SmartSea. SmartSea is a venture by SETA, which is an airline IT infrastructure giant, and they've entered the marine industry with their approach of how to manage data and how to standardize across various applications. So OneLink is very excited that we are engaging with SmartSea on this aspect of it. And we see this to be a major innovation. So this is the boring innovation. You don't get to see it in front, but at the back end, this is going to change the way how we manage data. The second part of it, which we touched upon earlier, is the journey of AI. Now, the journey of AI is getting a boost because of connectivity. Early on, um, big data analytics could only be done ashore because we could not transfer the data at such high speeds. So now with better connectivity, now we can make the languages, or maybe we can make the AI models learn in the shore environment, but apply them on the ship environment. So the lead time for learning to execution to correcting and to reapplying is much lesser now. So AI, especially in machine learning and large language models, it's going to do amazing work in future. We are also betting on the image recognition side, which is going to make inspections of machinery, inspections of deck, hull, these elements much more smoother and much more transparent. And this will then start moving towards improving the user experience. We have already started designing applications which are focused on the user side of it. So a technical superintendent is the one who designed the engine link for us, rather than us designing an application for the technical superintendent. And finally, one aspect of innovation that we are investing quite a lot on is virtual reality. So OneLink has a link called Ariba 360. It's all built all around using virtual reality and augmented reality in training environment. So we have created several trainings where we can do a full safety familiarization before you go on board. So you can interact with the firefighting system. You can even or like launch a lifeboat. You can go through the procedure much before you go on vessel. So this creates a much better experience for the sailor who's going on board, and he's already familiar with the vessel. He already knows where the extinguisher is, or where the hose is, or where the lifeboat is, or where the life raft is, or what are the special arrangements on the vessels. And this he can do sitting at home on a PC through virtual reality, or we can do it in training centers wearing headsets like the Quest or the Microsoft HoloLens. And the experience is real because we are using the real images. These are not virtual images. So these are not recreated images, but actual 360 images taken all around the vessel. And then we augment information on top of that. We feel this way of training and this way of managing digital twins in future is going to have a really amazing impact on how we interact with our crew. We are also embarking on a behavioral science project with respect to virtual reality, where we would be assessing the behavior or the vitals of a trainee when they're going through these kind of training. And let's say they're in a simulator, and then we can add complexities like there's a fire on board, and then see the reaction, and then evaluate the behavioral patterns of various ranks, how they deal with it. So virtual reality is something that we are extremely excited about in terms of innovation and in terms of capabilities that it has for the future of seafarers.
That's all very interesting, Pankaj. Thank you so much for that, which I think covers a lot from the next question, next and final question. Okay, so looking ahead, I think you covered. What
Hmm.
advancements do you foresee in the near future, and how is your company positioning itself to lead in these developments?
Yes. So you're quite right. I touched upon a lot of it. But how we see it is there's a structural change coming up. So instead of having various programs do various things, we see a more app-based approach. It's like how you have your apps on the phone, and with the click of a button, you're able to do your work on the phone. Is something similar that we are designing or we are planning for the future of vessels. Okay, so that's one side of it. The other side of it is we have yet to simplify a lot of complexities on board. So how we capture data, how we manage data. A lot of companies, and it still surprises me when I ask them about their digitalization journey, they show me Excel sheets, and that's not digital. That's just a better form of paper. So that part, that journey, that threshold is yet to be covered. We need to be in structured data environment, and structured data is still a big problem in shipping. So that's the major advancement that we see, that we have app-based approach and we have structured data. We have to look at machinery more than what we've been looking at in terms of voyage execution. So the one link approach was always about being proactive. When people were doing classical speed and consumption after data was reported, OneLink was doing proactive speed and consumption. That means we started assessing the voyage execution throughout the voyage. Then we went a step ahead. We started looking at real-time data. How do we use real-time data? So we made a very we AI-based intelligent alerts. So let's say at a particular load, machinery is being used and the load is enough for a certain amount of generators, or there's no way to optimize it. The application would give us a traffic light. It turns red on our big screens. We've got huge screens over here. We see a vessel flicking red. We know something's not right over here. There's the sink, an opportunity to optimize, and that's what the 24/7 team does. Now, what we're looking at is we have to look at machineries. We have to look at individual level health of the machinery. Main engine, we all know it needs attention, but the auxiliaries, your boilers, your oil water separators, they all need attention. They all are contributing towards your overall efficiency, overall emissions. And when you have retrofits, when you have an air lubrication system, or you put rotor sails, how much they're being used, at what efficiency level they're being used. All this is possible through applications like EngineLink. We're quite proud of EngineLink because we feel it's very innovative. It is designed around making the life easier for the shore staff and the ship staff. And at the same time, it is looking at the future of shipping rather than dealing with the present problems of shipping. So this is how we see the whole landscape changing and how the future developing, so that we are able to uh, service our customers in a way that they are ready for the various environments that will be put in front of us when 2030 comes in, and when fuel EU regulations keep increasing the penalty. So this is how we've designed ourselves ready for the future.
That's great. Sounds very holistic and proactive approach.
Thank you.
Well, and that brings our conversation to an end. Thank you, Pankaj, for this great discussion and sharing your insights with us. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please look out for upcoming episodes in the Expert Talks webinar series, which will shed light on a variety of topics in the ever-changing and fascinating shipping industry. Thank you again.
Thank you.